Welcome back to the Dynasty Rewind, everybody. I'm your host, Michael Bauer. The best in the business is back in business. And if you're watching this, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere else, you can see the screen's a little bit different than what we normally have. Got a lot of guests in here, so I'll make this quick. Joining me today, we got Chev and Nooney back from a small hiatus. Chev, good to see you again. We have Steven Taroni, Dustin Lund, Phil Simmons, also known as Porkman. We got Turman here. We got Memphis. We got Justin Hill. And we also have, last but very not least, Shane Manila. So, everybody, welcome to the Dynasty Rewind. Really glad that you guys are here. We're going to be doing a mock draft this evening, rookie mock draft, superflex, nothing fancy, really, no tight end premium, no special scoring settings or anything like that. So, I'm going to go ahead and go into the room and start the draft right now. If I can actually open the correct app. Sorry, that was DraftKings. All right, so we are starting the draft, and on the clock, we got Chev. Chev, good to see you back again. So you have the 1-1, just so everyone knows. Full disclosure, I specifically selected everyone's draft picks to try to make them have hard selections. So with the first pick, is it going to be T-Law or is it going to be Justin Fields? Chev, you're on the clock.
I haven't been on the podcast for a while, so I haven't been able to show my excitement for the Justin Fields pick. So I'm super excited for Justin Fields, man. And I'm going to go with Justin Fields. I know that's what you wanted, so I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to be a little bit different this time and let that hang out. So, Who's on the clock now? Big Rhino?
So this is Big Papa Rhino. This is Justin. He is a patron of ours, just joined the Patreon a few days ago. So happy to have him. The other two spots that were filled in, you see Nate is absent. He's out of town for work this evening. So he will be doing the mock on the app. But it goes to patrons first that get the first crack at coming on the mock. And Trevor Lawrence goes off the board. Justin, that is here, not just drafting on the app. Justin Hill at Justin Hill FF. First of all, welcome. And secondly, you are on the clock at 1-3. Happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. I think it's a pretty easy decision for me. I'm going to go Trey Lance.
Okay. We're taking that high ceiling, high upside with Trey Lance. I have opinions on Trey Lance, but we can get into that some other time. And at 1-4, we have Shane Manila. You can find him at Shane is the worst on Twitter or Island in the Shane for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. And I drafted Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase goes off the board at 1-4.
Yeah, the best quarterbacks are off the board. All the slam dunks are gone. I don't trust Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, not this soon.
Okay. All right, I like it. Before Porkman picks, what is Island in the Shane, or do you not remember?
I don't remember putting that on there. I think someone else did it.
I did not do it.
Definitely Mike. He's a clown with that.
I did not. I actually did not. But Porkman, you're on the clock at the 1-5.
Just like Shane said, the slam dunk quarterbacks are off the board. Me personally, I don't want any parts of Zach Wilson or Mac Jones at this spot. So I'm going to take the workhorse back in Pittsburgh, Najee Harris here. He's going to get majority of the touches. I don't trust any in McFarland or Benny Snell or any of that crap. So give me Najee Harris.
Very good point. If this was tight end premium, do you guys think Kyle Pitts would have been off the board by now?
For sure.
Yeah. I've seen him go as early as the 102 in a super flex.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
101 in the 1 QB tight end premium.
I saw him go 101 in a superflex league.
Oh, wait, so did I. Yeah, that was odd.
Wait a minute, it was me.
I took him at 101 in FFPC, single quarterback, 1.5 PR for tight ends.
All right, so with about 1:13 left, we got Dustin's on the clock, and you can find him on Twitter at FFDustyDog. He also does a fantastic podcast with Jake Trowbridge that is Drinking and Talking Fantasy. Dustin, what do you want to do here at the 1-6?
Well, I think I will take the number 2 running back here with first-round draft capital and ETN. So there you have it.
All right, perfect. So ETN goes off the board. Now at the 1-7, Kyle Pitts finally goes off the board. I'm sorry, who did I have drafting at the 1-7? That is our patron.
Viking Sims.
Okay, so Kyle Pitts goes off the board at 1-7. And now Nate is on the clock, and he's drafting from a bar, from what I could tell. So let's see what he does at the 1-8. All right, and Zach Wilson goes off the board at 1-8. Kind of thought that would be where he goes. So it's my turn. I wanted to give myself a difficult draft position here. Kind of what do I do? Do I want to reach for anything? I'm going to go best player available. Please don't think this is a homer pick, but I'm going to take Devontae Smith. I think he has all the potential to be the wide receiver 1 for sure. I mean, walking into the room, he is a wide receiver 1. He is the best player on the board, in my opinion, right now. So you can find him on Twitter at DWZ Memphis. He prefers to go by Memphis. Fantastic podcast, Dynasty Warzone. And he is up next at the 110.
Well, you hit me with a swerve. I thought you were going to take the guy I have to take at this position just due to the scarcity at the quarterback position in Superflex. I got to take Mac Jones. Now, if I'm taking this pick at the 110, I'm probably a contender, or at least I was last year. If this was my pick, I know I'm going to put Mac Jones in mothballs. I'm going to put him away for the year. It's going to be Cam's team unless Cam gets hurt. And I will say this. If Josh McDaniels can craft an offense that both Cam Newton and Mac Jones can thrive in, then he is truly an offensive wizard. Because how do you build a Cam Newton offense for a mobile quarterback versus a pocket quarterback? I'm willing to wait. I like the talent, and I think that the New England Patriots can get the most out of this guy. So give me Mac Jones at the 110 in a super flex.
Great. Perfect. Love it. Just need you to click on draft for him then, Memphis, when you get a second.
I believe this is a 2-minute clock, right? This is I still have 2 minutes.
Sorry, my bad. So moving on next, we got Stephen Turney. You can find him on Twitter. And sorry if I'm squinting. The screen's a little small because I'm trying to look at comments too. At FF Professor ST3 on Twitter. Great guy to talk to. He's up at the 111. What are we doing here, Stephen?
Yeah, so, at this point, Jalen Waddle, obviously the draft capital, for me, when I was doing, getting ready for, my drafts, getting ready for analyzing these prospects, I mean, his film was my favorite. I mean, he's not necessarily my top 2 or 3 wide receiver, but watching his highlights, watching his tape, dude has so much wiggle. And then, once he gets the ball in his hands, it's going to be very, very fun for the Miami Dolphins this year having talent like that. But, when I'm drafting, I definitely draft in a tier-based sort of strategy. And Javonte Williams is far and away the best running back left. So you have to take him, or I feel like I have to take him right now. I think that there's depth at the wide receiver. If you want to say that, but I'm going Javonte here.
So sitting at the 112 and seemingly getting sniped left and right, we got my man Term. You can find him at FF_Terminator Term. I put you at the 112 because here's the thing. I've heard you say many times that you win a lot of leagues. So you would be sitting at the 112 anyway. So I want to see your stacked championship team, right? What are you doing here at the 112? Because this is a thing. A lot of people say they hate this draft position. So what are we doing here?
I don't know why you would hate this draft position. It would normally mean that you won the league.
Right.
So, I thought these guys were going to let Mac Jones get to me. And then I really thought Javonte Williams was going to get to me, especially when he opened up talking about Waddle. I think he did that on purpose.
Sneaky.
Yeah. Bateman was my pre-draft number 1 wide receiver. His film, I mean, it really jumps out. I mean, there's not a lot he can't do. He's a big, strong, physical kid, and he's fast, and he wins at the catch point. I really like him. I wish he would have been drafted anywhere else. But since I am a championship team and I'm already pretty loaded, I think I can afford to go out on just a little bit of a limb here and take Bateman. I think he's the best player left on the board. So I'll go ahead and take Rashad Bateman.
Okay. I don't hate it. I think people are scared away by Lamar Jackson, but someone's got to be a wide receiver 1 there. Don't forget, we were all scared away by A.J. Brown, too, and that worked out pretty well as far as his landing spot. So we go back. This is a linear-style rookie draft. We're not snaking the draft or anything like that. So, Chev, you are back on the clock with the 2-1.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with a guy that is landing back on a team with his college QB. I'm going to go with Waddle.
Okay. Jalen Waddle. And Steven, correct me if I'm wrong. Did I not call Jalen Waddle to the Miami Dolphins at 6 on your podcast?
Yeah, I believe you did. We were talking about the landing spots, and you had a feeling because we were talking about it. I was like, maybe Waddle could be taken ahead of Smith. I mean, that could happen. So,
And shout your podcast out for everybody real quick for me, please.
yeah, it's the Hot Take Podcast. You can find it wherever you listen to pods.
All right, perfect. So, Big Papa Rhino back up, and he takes Trey Sermon at the 2-2. Justin, you are back up again, my friend. And it looks like, did that leave you scrambling a little bit there?
Yeah, I got snapped.
Okay, I saw you checking your notes. So, all right, so let's see what we do here at the 2-3.
I'm going to take the next best wide receiver on the board, in my opinion. I'm going to take Elijah Moore. I think he can make a difference in the slot for the Jets. Zach Wilson's got to have somebody to throw to and might as well be the guy in the intermediate middle of the field.
Yeah, this seems to be like the Elijah Moore draft spot, like anywhere between 2-1 and 2-5. I see him going a lot. I seem to have a lot of Elijah Moore on my teams as well. So, and I'm okay with it. I'm kind of coming around to him. So, Shane, you are back up on the clock at 2-4. First pick was Jamar Chase. What do we do now?
No. The only player that doesn't make me punch myself in the eye that's left is Rondell Moore. Why can't I draft him? What's going on here? Draft him. Yeah. Like murder you. On my sorry, on my phone. So I like Rondell Moore. I know he's 4'2", but he can squat like 700 pounds.
7,000 pounds.
7,000 pounds. Yeah, so he can lift the building with his one quad. No, I just think a dude's going to be an absolute weapon on that team. It's a shame Christian Kirk do so, but sometimes that's how life works.
Yes, and for more Rondell Moore anatomy lessons, check out Shane on the Dynasty Trades HQ podcast.
Okay.
I can't figure out how to draft.
You want me to set
You might want to help them out a little bit there, Mike.
You see the button next to their name that says draft?
You're on a desktop. There's a plus sign.
Sleeper.
Well, you can kiss that sleeper sponsorship goodbye.
There it goes.
There he goes.
I said it first. So, Porkman, you took Najee at the 1-5. You're back up to 2-5. Let's see what you do here.
All right, so this player was in my top 5 backs, and is one of Bob Van's guys. And I know he's going to be in a timeshare with Michael Piron with the Jets, but I actually have him a little bit better as a prospect. Michael Carter is my pick here for the Jets.
Good pick.
He's not a better prospect, but now we are back up to Dustin. He's not. So at the 2-6, you're coming off your Travis Etienne pick in the first round. What are you going to pair with Travis Etienne?
Well, since Parkman sniped me there.
Sorry about that, bud.
It doesn't seem like it, but that's all right.
He's not really sorry.
Not sorry at all. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go with a guy here, wide receiver, that I feel like could walk into good target share. That's in Detroit with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just feel like the situation there, they don't have a whole lot of alpha, really good wide receivers there. I mean, we all love Quintez Cephas, but I think St. Brown is going to walk into good volume.
Yeah, a lot of people hate that spot. I don't hate it, to be honest with you. I mean, someone's got to be good there, right? Shane doesn't look like he's a fan.
No, I mean, I don't think I hate the spot. I hate that he's a round 4 wide receiver, and historically they have been crap sticks. And I loved him on Ross St. Brown before the draft. It's just, if he could have been picked like 15 picks sooner in the 3rd round, I feel a lot better about him.
All right, good point. So let's see what our man Steve does here at the 2-7. Who is he going to pair with? Kyle Pitts. But just looking at the board until Steve picks, any surprises, anything jump out at you guys at all?
I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's draft spot has went up tremendously. The very first rookie draft I did after the NFL draft, like literally that Saturday night, Shane, it was the Ultimate Dynasty Podcasters League. And ever since then, I've just seen his ADP go up and up and up. I actually like him. What if he's the next Cooper Kupp for Jared Goff? His value goes up quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. So
I mean, honestly, look, I'm just putting it out there. But in this draft class, I can't be mad at anyone you pick after about 204. Like, it's just whatever. Like, as long as they're an actual player, I guess, fine.
So
except Michael Carter, not Michael Carter. I can't get behind that.
After the Amon-Ra St. Brown pick, we had Terrace Marshall go at 2.7. Nate took Kadarius Toney at the 2.8. And I'm going to go ahead, and I don't care if it's tight end premium or not, just looking at the board. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Pat Freiermuth, who in Sleeper's ADP has actually fallen behind Brevin Jordan now. And I think that was flipped for a while, oddly. So Pat Freiermuth is my pick at the 2.9. Memphis, you are up next at the 2.10.
Well, before I take my guy, so I just want to make sure I got this correct, Sleeper. So we don't want the guy who went 55th overall to a good offense in Pittsburgh, but we want the guy who went in the 5th round to a bad offense in Houston. I'm going to write that down. Hold on one second.
I think the ADP is messed up for this mock because this isn't on a regular draft. Because I was looking at that too. Because there's some people on here that I can't even find that were drafted. I have to like type their names in.
All right. Well, I'm clearly using my stalling. I'm using my full 2 minutes again. I'm looking for my guy. I just saw him. on my computer as well. I'm looking for Amari Rodgers. I liked him. I liked him a ton coming out. I actually liked all the guys that have went within the last few picks. I was really hoping Terrace Marshall was going to fall to me or Kadarius Toney. Can't fade the draft capital, but I like Rodgers. He seems like a great slot receiver to go with Devontae and Allen Lazard on the outside and Tanyan and then the tight end position. Just hopefully the other Rodgers stays. Now his jersey will say Aaron Rodgers and just A Rodgers.
All right. Perfect. So Amari Rodgers goes off to 2.10. Steven, back to you, my man.
Yeah, so I really like Kenny Gainwell. He would be the running back I would take. I really want to just kind of, there's no context with roster, so you would get the best available. But I have my best available as De'Ami Brown. And I just really like that he's walking into this offense with Ryan Fitzpatrick for this year. He was drafted in the 3rd round, 2 years in a row of 20 yards per reception. So he just takes the lid off of the defense. So I really want to see what his potential is. In fantasy, you're looking for a ceiling. I think he has a ceiling, and I think there's opportunity here in this Washington offense.
I agree. Porkman does not like that landing spot so much, but we can get to that another time. So, Term, you're back up at the 2.12. You're at the championship pick. What are we doing here?
There's actually a couple of guys on the board that I like a little bit better than the consensus. I'm going to go with a guy who I could probably get in the next round if my league mates were sleeping. But I know there's a guy who likes this particular player almost as much as I do. And he will probably take this guy before it gets back to me in round 3. So I'm going to go ahead and take Nico Collins. This is a kid who, when you watch him on film, he was clearly hindered by quarterback play. He was hindered by scheme. I love his measurables. I love what I've seen on tape. And if Deshaun Watson winds up playing, and I have to think he will again at some point, he couldn't have asked for a better landing spot. There's opportunity there, and he's got it playing with a great quarterback.
All right, so Nico goes off the board at 2.12. And the 3-1, Chev, we are back to you, my man.
And I'm going to go with a guy whose film I really love to watch. He's from Oklahoma State. I'm going to go with Tylan Wallace. I just think he can be somebody there that steps up in that wide receiver core, even though Bateman's there now. But I think he's somebody that can definitely take over, even though he was drafted a little bit later. So,
Chef, before we move on to these next few picks, I want to ask you, you're taking Tyler Wallace here at the 3-1.
Mhm.
I feel like with some of the rookie drafts that I've been in, people are kind of scared by the 4th-round draft capital and going to the Baltimore Ravens. But at the 3-1, you're more than comfortable taking a shot on him there. So you think both him and Rashad Bateman could be a good future receiving core, unlike what the Ravens had previously?
Yeah, I think he's just somebody that is just a dog, man. Every film that I watch, he loves the block. He loves the make good route running. I mean, he just wants to be out there and make plays, and that's something that I think Baltimore needs in the wide receiver core. I think Bateman can bring that as well, so I think that could be a nice little duo for Lamar Jackson for the next coming years for sure.
You make a good point. They really haven't had that from a wide receiver since Anquan Bolden.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So at the 3-2, I could tell somebody's been listening to our Patreon episodes. Des Fitzpatrick goes to Big Papa Rhino. So I had to pause a minute here. I didn't want Justin's clock to run out. So Justin, you are back up at the 3-3.
Appreciate that. I'm going to take Josh Palmer from former Tennessee Vol, now for the LA Chargers. He's a victim of, I don't want to say poor QB play, but atrocious QB play in college, and he's going to a quarterback now. And Mike Williams is set to hit free agency in 2022, and there just seems to be a lot of opportunity there with, a great quarterback.
Yeah, I like that pick.
I like that too. He's a guy that's been gaining a lot of traction lately, and we will be talking about him on our Patreon very soon. So Shane, the 3-4, back up to you. There's still lots of good players on the clock on the board here.
What, you're looking at a different draft?
Some of the landing spots was not ideal at all. I definitely thought it was going to go differently, and I felt like a lot of these players could have been something better, but the way that was just they were drafted just really hurt them.
Okay, so Kellen Mond, Shane, you take Kellen Mond at the 3-4, and how? I mean, this is as project quarterback goes. When the Houston future quarterback, what is his name, Davis Mills, he's still on the board, but you're going Kellen Mond. I'll need a slight explanation here as far as Kellen Mond.
Well, Davis Mills is trash. So there's that. There's the fact that Davis Mills you're drafting so that you can trade him before his first start. Because if you wait till after his first start, he's already lost all his value. Kellen Mond is at least athletic. He's going to get out there. And look, if you can fall back on athleticism like we saw with Jalen Hurts last year, you don't have to be particularly good at throwing the football to score some points. And just like we see Jalen Hurts as a top 12 quarterback now, give me 4 games of Kellen Mond running around out there. And his value will spike, and then I'll trade him because he's also not that good.
All right. So there we go. Kellen Mond goes off to 3-4. And Philip, you are back up on the clock at the 3-5.
All right. So gets kind of duty over here. But when we get to receivers here, there's one guy I'm drafting everywhere. My guys know who it is. It's Daz Newsome for Chicago Bears. He's going to have Justin Fields. He's taking over the Anthony Miller spot. I know draft capital was kind of bad, but this year's draft was kind of odd with a lot of seniors getting drafted from the Senior Bowl, and I feel like a lot of guys just like kind of fell down. Daz Newsome to me is like a Jarvis Landry type of this draft, and he can do really well with PPR formats.
All right. Love that pick there. And Dustin, it is back up to you at the 3-6.
Yeah, at this point,
Trade back.
Yeah, exactly. Trade out of the pick if we can. But I think I will take the handcuff for Carolina and Christian McCaffrey and take Chuba Hubbard. We also that McCaffrey is not Superman, and he did get injured actually last season and missed a bunch of times. So Chuba could see some good opportunity if it arises.
Right. I do not hate that pick at all there. Okay, and Kenneth Gainwell, another guy. Both Chuba and Gainwell landing spots are not ideal, but still, guys that fell in your rookie drafts because of landing spots here. He goes off to 3-7. Now Nate is back up at the 3-8. He is also not online, as I can see here. So we're just going to go ahead and text him real quick. See what he's got going on. See if we can get him back in here within the next minute and a half.
This is unacceptable.
Again, he's got 2 minutes. You know?
Yeah, he got the time.
Yeah,
But there's no green dot. That's why I'm concerned.
Isn't he on dad duty? Isn't that what he's doing tonight?
He's at a bar drinking.
Yeah,
He
that's
can
not
do
dad.
both.
He could.
Not good dad duty, but it could be dad duty.
He's back
It's just
online.
important being in your child's
he's-
life, right?
He's there now.
So let's see what he does. You think Puka here?
It might be a little early. I think he'll probably take Puka in the 4th, because Puka will probably, unless somebody else takes him. But
I feel like I might get sniped here, actually.
he's struggling with this right here too.
Yeah. I mean, I got my next guy queued up, so.
You guys have a point. If you can get
Yeah.
anything for these 3rd-round picks, do that. Just get whatever. You
Because
can.
because the like Chef said, the landing spots for this draft was like we had our mindset on this guy's going here, this guy's going here, and then we see like Mike's boy is like the 3rd running back on the Green Bay Packers. It's like what are we going to do with that? We felt like Colin Hill was going to go to a good spot, and he's going to a point where you don't know what the hell he's going to do.
I don't even know if it was teams. I think it was just draft capital in general for some of these guys. For me,
That as well.
So I would like everyone to know that Cornell Powell went off at the 3-8, and I did get sniped. That was my next pick that I had queued up. So I'm just going to kind of verbalize what's going through my mind here. If you're on the clock and you got a short clock and you're getting sniped. So being that it is a super flex, and I'm just looking at the top tier, top ranked running back is Kylan Hill. He's buried on depth chart. Ramondre Stevenson, better for the NFL than for fantasy. Jamar Jefferson buried. Jarrett Patterson, Washington, disgusting. Going over to wide receivers, Dwayne Eskridge, nah. Sage Surratt, realistically, no. Tamarian Terry, trash. Seth Williams, trash. Tutu Atwell, tiny. Shai Smith, he's okay. So we're just going to go back to quarterbacks. Jamie Newman, trash. Kyle Trask, trash. Ian Book. Ian Book it is. So at the 3-9, I go Ian Book. And if you listen to this podcast, you know how much I hate Ian Book. And I would tell him to his face if I could. I know I'd get my ass kicked, but I would still do it. Memphis, you are back on the clock with the 3-10. And we're going to end this after 3 rounds because this draft
Well, first of all, this is where we're doing the Lord's work right now for all your subscribers and watchers here. This is where they need our help more than anywhere else. For me, I'm going to pick it as if best player available for me, and it is Kyle Trask. Call me the trash man. And the reason why I like him over Kellen Mond or Davis Mills is he's realistically able to see the field maybe this year, next year. I mean, Kellen Mond, I'm sorry, he's $75 million of dead cap away from seeing the field this year with Kirk Cousins, and he's $45 million away from seeing the field next year because of Kirk Cousins. And they're talking long-term extension. I know Tom Brady eats avocado ice cream and sleeps in kale pajamas. I dig it. But he's still 44 years old. And he is still one tackle from being, down for a couple of games. And if Kyle Trask can't beat out the blonde bomber that is Blaine Gabbert, then he doesn't deserve to be on my roster anyway, and I'll cut him at some point. So for me, out of all these second, third-round Jag QBs, give me the one who's the closest. And by closest, I mean the 44-year-old in the way. So give me Kyle Trask. I am hitting the plus button now.
So Memphis is the trash man, taking out the trash to 3-10 with Kyle Trask. And Steven, it is back up to you at the 11. The term's going to finish this draft off in style.
Yeah, man. So I would get Kylan Hill, in honor of you, because I know that's your boy. But he is so buried that it's tough to do that. So I'll get someone else who's buried, and I feel as if maybe he could actually get some touches at some point. And it's Jamar Jefferson. Jamal Williams, he's kind of like a bridge running back, if you want to say that. And then I kind of see this panning out as, Swift and Jefferson, in maybe a couple years here.
Okay. I like it. In term, finish this draft off at the 3-12. What are we going to do?
Okay. So this is someone who I was actually considering with my last pick. So for him to get back to me is fortuitous. And this is a guy I'm higher on than a lot of people, hard charging, tremendous contact balance. Sony Michel is going to be gone in a year. There's nothing really there in front of him that's anything special. He could fill that LeGarrette Blount role in this offense down around the goal line, and that's Ramondre Stevenson.
All right, so turn goes Ramondre Stevenson. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go back onto the app, and I'm going to end the draft right there after 3 rounds. So let's just take a minute before we head out and look at the board here. So what a difference pre and post draft makes, huh? It's just crazy. And, some of the guys that got to bad landing spots, like we all know my love for Kylan Hill, your best hope is that he gets cut and picked up by someone else. 7th round picks are kind of expendable sometimes. But I have a couple guys queued up here that I just want to talk about. So Brevin Jordan, a lot of people are saying he's the number 2 tight end overall. He goes in the 5th round in Houston. What are we thinking about Brevin Jordan? Are we still taking shots on him in later rounds of rookie drafts? I know Houston doesn't historically use the tight end position very much, but is he worth a dart throw?
For me, I had the name Tommy Trimble written down. I have him ahead of Brevin Jordan. I mean, he went to Carolina. I mean, what's in his way besides Dan the Postman Arnold and maybe the corpse of Ian Thomas? He's 6'3". He's not even 21 years old. 240 pounds. He's a big kid, comes out of tight end university in Notre Dame. He's a great guy in a tight end premium or in a league where you just need tight end dart throws. Man, draft that dude. That's a good offense. I mean, Robbie Anderson, Wallace, EMC, DJ Moore.
He plays violently.
Yes, he does. I was going to say that.
He is
that's what gets him on the field. His blocking is outrageous.
Yeah, his block, is tremendous. Yeah,
and they need offensive line help. And like I said, if he can't beat out Dan Arnold, then much like Kyle Trask, he can get the hell off my lineup. But for 2 years, if you have a 2-year taxi squad, just stash him down there, see what happens the next 2 years. It's a great. I mean, what's his name? Joe Brady made Thaddeus Moss a thing for a time there in LSU. So why not Tommy Trimble?
Yeah. That's a great point. So another guy I want to talk about real quick, Dwayne Eskridge. He's a guy, I liked his film. We looked at him pre-draft, but he goes to the Seattle Seahawks, and now all of a sudden he is a rookie draft darling. I see that we are a little off on consensus. I've seen Dwayne Eskridge going anywhere from the mid to late 2nd round to early 3rd. Does anyone have any thoughts on Dwayne Eskridge? Workman's not a fan, I think.
No, I am a fan of Eskridge. I'm not a fan of that spot you was talking about. I didn't see him going any late 2nd, early 3rds at all. And especially with that offense, they try to run the ball a lot as well, and it's a lot of deep passes to DK and Tyler Lockett. If he gets that David Moore role, I don't know if you're going to be able to trust him for fantasy purposes. He might be like one of your guys you say he's better for the NFL than he is for fantasy at this point, until we see if anything happens. Well, we all know Lockett got the extension and DK still on his rookie deal. So we just got to see how that plays out.
Even if those guys were to move on after their contracts, I mean, Eskridge would be at 28 at that point. So he's already
old scrap.
So yeah.
And Lockett's not going anywhere. His contract's, I mean, it's not quite Kirk Cousins dead cap numbers. Yeah, it's legit tough to get out of.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
great footwork, tremendous route runner, but terrible landing spot.
Yeah.
Played well at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, he's older too. I think he was a 5th-year senior out of Western Michigan too. So Porkman automatically likes him. He likes them older wide receivers. So Anthony Schwartz, an honorable mention, speed for Cleveland. Memphis, I'm sorry to put that over you here. Do we have any honorable mentions for Anthony Schwartz like me?
I've drafted him a lot at the end of the 3rd round because he's fast. So he's got something. He has at least a skill.
All right. In that case, I might draft something else and just grab Marion Terry. Or, I don't know, why not? Like the last pick of the Suns Dynasty draft, I took Sage Surratt just from a man, Porkman, because he loves that.
Yeah, because he's freaking trash.
Nate, I'm sorry, Puka did not get drafted in this draft. People here have common sense. So everybody, thank you again For those of you that watch, thank you for watching. For those of you who listen, thank you for listening. And I'm just going to go around the horn and let everyone talk for just a minute or two. So, Shane, we're going to start with you. Shane, where can we find you? Where can we find what you are doing?
I'm on the Twitter at Shane is the worst. See, I got Dynasty Trades HQ podcast. Come be a patron. I mean, you can listen for free too, but fuck you. Come be a patron. Also, Manic and Chill on YouTube for DLF, and Dynasty Intervention every Tuesday night with my boy Chase and my buddy Jacob. And then I write for DLF. That's it. That's all. And check out my pinned tweet. There's a fundraiser for someone in the community who could use our help. So go check out my pinned tweet.
All right, so check out everything that Shane does. And Justin, a last-minute addition to the podcast. Thank you again so much for coming on. Tell us where we can find you and what you got going on.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You can find me on Twitter at JustinHillFF. I'm doing a lot of social media stuff for football guys. You can find us at FBG News. And just looking to kind of get in the game a little bit and kind of build a profile up. So if anybody needs any guest appearances, anything like that, please hit me up on Twitter.
Right,
and again, thanks for having me on here.
Of course, you came highly recommended by Dave Kluge. Hopefully I said his last name correctly. So
you got it. That's him.
So thank you again for hopping on last minute. And Memphis, where can we find you and what do you got going on?
Just a bunch of podcasts over at the Dynasty Warzone, Twitter handle at DWZ Memphis. We are doing a rookie show on Sunday nights for YouTube, and Tuesday nights the Dynasty show, and then Monday, Wednesday for some podcasts. We got some other guys on our network as well, but just find the Dynasty Warzone and you can find whatever kind of football you're into.
Perfect. They have a Patreon as well, just like Shane does, so make sure you go check that out. Term, my man, where can we find you on Twitter?
You can get at me at FF_Terminator. I am a Shane is the worst patron because I don't want to fuck myself. And host of the formerly unscripted podcast. It's we're going through a name change at the moment. So keep your ear to the ground for that. At FF_Terminator.
And I wanted to ask you, how did you get that name? How did you get the Terminator name again?
My league mates actually gave me, my hometown league mates actually gave me that name.
Okay, cool. Love it.
We all started, as most of you probably did, we all started a fantasy league amongst ourselves years and years ago. And I sort of went nuts with it. took it to a new level.
Which we all did. And that's
which we all did, which is why we're here. Yeah.
That's right. All right, and Phil, where can we find you?
You can find me at FF Workman. I'm a co-host with the Dynasty Rewind with this idiot up top. It's a fun time, though.
We'll call Chev an idiot.
Oh, I think talking about me.
No, definitely not Chev. No, just like I always say, if anybody else want to talk in the DMs, my DMs are always open. And fantasy football, life, or whatever. So it's always a good time.
All right, yeah. Reach out to Porkman instead of me. That would be preferred. Dustin, where can we find you, and what do you got going on, my man?
You can find me at FFDustyDog on Twitter, and I am one of the hosts of the Drinking and Talking Fantasy Football podcast, along with my co-host Drake Trowbridge. And you still got that Steel Reserve. I love it.
It sits right
back.
Why did you keep it?
As a reminder, I rinsed it.
It's not really that bad, Mike.
It's not really that good either. I'm sorry.
It's not good.
So check him out. Check out Drinking and Talking Fantasy. And Steven, what about you? Where can we find you? What do you got going on?
Yeah, Mike, thanks for having me. Porkman, always a pleasure. Great drafting with you guys tonight. You can find me over at FF Professor SD3 on Twitter. We do the Hot Take podcast. I'm the host over there with Josh Bailey, my co-host. We're going to have Laquan Jones on tomorrow night. We're going to be live doing a startup mock draft. And then next week we got Denny Carter coming on. So that's going to be a great time. Definitely recommend tuning in for that. We're going to play some word association, have a good time with that.
All right. Perfect. Love it. I had a great time on your podcast as well. That was a good time. So, and Chev, welcome back. First of all, What do you got for us tonight?
Oh man, I don't have a verse. I didn't come ready for that. But just be good people, man. Go to Shane. Go to Shane's plug, his pin tweet. Go donate, man. There's people out there that need some money and need some help. Be courteous. Go give some money to that. I'll definitely be hopping on and going to do that. You can find me at Chef Boyardee, and I'm just glad to be back and back at it with you guys, man. It's been fun.
All right, Chev. Well, it's great to have you back like always. And if you're so inclined, you can follow me on Twitter at TheMBauer85. I would much rather you follow the show at Dynasty Rewind. Please hit up our Patreon, patreon.com/Dynasty Rewind. Look at our YouTube. Lots of great stuff on there. Apparently, we're dropping stuff like 4 or 5 days a week now. I don't even know what's going on. I just uploaded. But until next time, everybody, be kind. Please rewind. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Dynasty Rewind. Please make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, be kind. Please rewind.